The ANC's head of elections, Fikile Mbalula, will today give an update on the party's state of readiness for the local government elections. Now, the governing party's briefing comes as voter registration is set to take place this weekend. Now, the ANC will also announce when it will deliver its manifesto. For more on this story, we are joined by our reporter, Pelane Phakgadi, in studio, who's going to be tracking this particular story. Mr. Phakgadi, thank you very much for your time.
Yep.
To say that the ANC is in a mess is an understatement. Yesterday, charges opened against the party's senior leadership. Fraud and theft are the charges that the police are investigating against the senior leadership. Talk to us first about what Fikile Mbalula is likely to say today when he tells the nation that the governing party is ready for these elections.
Well, you can expect a lot from the African National Congress because they really have a lot to answer to. They really have a lot really to try and make us understand when they'll be beginning with their campaigning. I haven't seen them on the ground as yet. And whether or not those who are affected with these corruption and fraud charges will be leading some of their campaigns. Some of the senior members of the African National Congress are, of course, charged. Some of them are alleged to be involved in corrupt activities. Will they be leading the campaigns, and will they be the face of the campaigns? Because that in itself gives you a statement that when people see people that they feel should not be part or should not even be the face of the African National Congress going into the elections as councillors or so, and they're charged with something, I'm sure they may not even vote in their favor.
Pelane, what is the party saying about whether or not it is going to be able to mount an effective campaign? Pulemabe spoke at length yesterday. The main issue here that I think we probably need to find out about is whether the ANC staffers, these are employees of the ANC, remember they've not been paid, whether they are going to show up for the party ahead of the campaign itself.
Ahead of the campaign itself, and that will only come to terms if they are paid. Now, let me take you back a little bit. In 2016, the local government election campaign of the African National Congress spent about 1 billion rand. So that in itself, without the mass rallies at this current stage and all the door-to-door campaigns that have not even started that we've seen at this stage, if they have not been able to even pay salaries, will they be able to campaign? Campaigning is quite expensive.
And that's a key question, is it not? Because how do you have money to campaign
if you haven't paid your staff?
If you don't have money to pay your staff?
The staff that they also have to go through the processes of ensuring that the right candidates are being fielded, and you have to go and assist them in the door-to-door campaign. The list is currently a mess. People are campaigning outside the Lutulia house in itself. The Tshwane communities have come through guns blazing yesterday, saying that they found different ballots in a bush. Therefore, that means that there has been manipulation of the list system and the list configuration in that area. That gives you a challenge.
Pelane, let's end our conversation with the ANC possibly going to tell us what the party's strategy is going to be going into this election. I'm really trying hard to get into what Fikile Mbalula is going to have to master here. The ANC, when the current president took charge, there were serious allegations of corruption. The Zuma administration had basically been seen as having been corrupt. He comes into office and he promises a new dawn. You and I this morning were reading that Business Day article talking about the Afro Barometer survey that's been carried out, suggesting that corruption has worsened under this administration. So what is the ANC effectively going to sell to the voters?
And not only increasing corruption as a whole, but increasing as well in the presidency of which the president is leading. That is what the Afro Barometer statement says. And in that regard, in selling to the people that you're going to be changing the way there'll be operations, you're going to be fighting corruption, and you're going to be seen to be fighting corruption. Those are the elements I would assume that Fikile Mbalula wants to say that we have been doing so. But this particular statement comes through to say, nope, that is definitely not the case. In fact, there's been an increment as far as corruption is concerned, and even in the office of the president. That's about 1,600 people, respondents to that particular Afrobarometer article, saying that that's how they feel about about the state of the matter of the African National Congress-led government.
Yeah, and those are people's perceptions as the ANC prepares to tell us what their election strategy is going to be. Importantly, the manifesto going into this local government election. Pelane, Phakgadi, thank you very much. That's our reporter. Watching developments as the ANC prepares to brief the nation today. Fikile Mbalula slated to speak today. I can't tell you the exact time because I don't think that has been issued yet.